Hey, what's up? It's Mike File. I got another boat. So, all right, long story. I'll try to make it short, but if you saw my other video with the boat I bought, it was a 2005 Sea Ray 185 Sport. I did a lot of work on it. Actually, I did a lot of work to the trailer, and I did some work to the boat. I needed to put a new shift cable in the back of that boat, and I was trying to take the stern drive out, and the stern drive wouldn't come out. So I went on Facebook group, and I said, "Hey, look, I need some help. Does anyone have any ideas how to get the stern drive out? Because it's not coming out easy like it should." And some guy that lived near me said, "Hey, I've worked on boats, it's what I do. So if you bring it to me, I'll check it out for you and see what I can do to help you out." I'm like, "All right, no problem." So I took my boat to this guy. Um, he said, "Look, your motor's put in, when they put in the new motor, the guy before me put in the new motor, he put it in crooked, so it was like on a slant. So that's why I was having problems getting the stern drive out." He said, "What I'll do is I can take out the stern drive, I take out the engine, put the engine back in, and then put the shift cable in, put the stern drive back in. You should be good to go." I'm like, "Perfect, no problem." So we agreed on a price, and then next day he calls me. He says, "Look," he says, "Yeah, I got some bad news. Your transom's rotted." So I was like, "Dude, come on, really?" So he said, "Yeah, there's some brownish water coming out the back when I'm trying to take off the stern drive. That means brownish water. Looks like it's like brown. What is happening is the water is getting into the plywood, which is between the fiberglass, and it's rotting the wood." So I did some research on it, see if the guy was right. Research I saw, that's kind of what happens. So I took this guy's word for it. So I was like, "All right, well, so I need a boat. I'm not going to just throw this boat away because I, paid, a couple thousand for it, and I want a boat to flip. As you saw in my last video, I wanted to flip that boat. I said I need another boat to flip. So he and I agreed on a price for this boat, and I was giving him my boat, and this boat I took for a couple of grand, and this is a 1997 Maxim one, no, as a 1997 Maxim 1900 XR. So it's a almost 19 footer bow rider. So it's actually was in pretty good condition. I put this new seats in. You guys see these seats. I put the seats in. I redid some upholstery in the back here, and it does have a Force 120 outboard motor. Guy rebuilt that. I rebuilt the bottom as well, and put new carpet in. So it's actually in pretty decent shape for 1997. And like I said, I'm planning on flipping this thing. It's got I upgraded the switch panel. I got a Garmin GPS, switched out the steering wheel. Again, like I said, I painted the seats with some vinyl paint and put new seats in here. I redid the vinyl on the back here. First time doing vinyl work, not too shabby of a job, I guess, for being my first time, but the front looks pretty good as well. So the dude that switched out boats with me, I'm telling you, lesson learned. So I did all this. Dude was lying to me from the get-go. And I knew he was lying about some little things here and there about the boat. He said the boat had like three bilge pumps. Boat didn't have any bilge pumps at all. And I caught him on that. I was like, "Dude, before I take possession, you're gonna put a bilge pump in there." That's just one of the things. He said he replaced the floor. The floor was not replaced at all. Floors in, I mean, there's nothing wrong with floor. It was in good condition. I actually put 3 layers of fiberglass on the floor before I put the carpet in, just to be on the safe side. But it was the floor, nothing wrong with the floor, but it wasn't new. He said all the gauges were working, all the gauges are not working. We got most of the gauges working. I do need to get a something for the trim. I got the thing, it's called a trim sending unit, I believe it's on the back of the motor here. I need to get a new one of those, and then the trim gauge will work. But all the other gauges are working. He told me that the fuel and water separator was in a different location underneath the boat somewhere. I know the flow of fuel and where the fuel separator needs to be, fuel water separator needs to be, so I had to put a new one of those in there because the other one was shot. He said he just bypassed it. He didn't bypass it. So dude was lying to me. I know he's lying to me. But I wanted to get the transaction done because I did do a sea trial with this boat, and everything else checked out fine. The motor, which I was worried about the most, ran very well. So it is very seaworthy. And other than a few cosmetic things, which I pretty much did, that's all it really needed. But the hull is in really good shape. I looked underneath the hull, very, very sound. So no worries there. Just a few little things that dude was just trying to say it had and it didn't. But then he said he took my Sea Ray to the junkyard and got it scrapped because he took a few parts off of it and it was scrapped. Guess what? 2 weeks later, I see it on Facebook Marketplace for sale by another guy, and I'm like, dude, how'd you get my boat? He's like, what do you mean? I sent him a picture of the exact same boat. I was like, that's my boat that I just traded to this guy that was gonna that said my boat was no good, and he said there's nothing wrong. I told him what he said about the transom. He said there's nothing wrong with the transom. He said I took it to a marine mechanic down my way, and he looked over the boat. He said the boat's fine, except the boat does need a new engine and does need a new stern drive. So again, dude was lying to me about that. I'm a nice guy until you cross me, but this dude, I'm telling you, when you're out there doing transactions, be careful, because I like to think of everyone as nice and trustworthy, but there's some shysters out there, and this guy was definitely a shyster. And if I see him again and he lives around me, I'm gonna give him some words, but I'd rather do it to his face than on the phone. So be careful out there. Lesson learned by me. I should have got a second opinion. I should have went with my gut feeling. Go with it. If you feel like something is not right as far as a transaction goes, especially a large sum transaction, get a second opinion, and definitely go with your gut feeling. There's always something else out there, that might be better along the way. So, learn from my mistake. You don't have to have whatever you're looking at right at that moment. There's always something else out there. Luckily, this boat, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to afford a new engine. I wouldn't be able to afford a new stern drive for that other boat. So luckily it worked out. I am going to sell this boat, and when I sell it, I will probably make back what I paid for that boat and this boat together. And I might break even, or I might make a little bit extra. And as long as I break even, I'm fine. I'm not really going to lose money in the long run, but again, just the whole process of someone lying to me to my face and just, thinking that he's getting one over on me just doesn't really sit well with me. So again, make sure that what your any kind of transaction is a good transaction. Make sure that if you have that gut feeling that something isn't right, it's probably not right. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And again, it probably worked out better in the long run for me because, like I said, I don't have the kind of cash to throw in another engine, another stern drive for that boat and come out on top. So this probably worked out in the best for me. But yeah, there are a lot of shady people out there. Just be careful. All right, guys, take it easy.